It's for high-end leftovers. Jack hissed. Larry convinced me that if we host a lifestyle integration party tonight, we'll make enough in commission to pay for the new shag carpet we've been wanting. The lifestyle integration party was a disaster from the opening minute. Larry had invited a group of local investors who turned out to be the Elderly Bridge Club from the community center. Jack, in an attempt to demonstrate the burpable seal of the containers, accidentally used one that had been filled with a highly pressurized mixture of soda and Mentozan experiment he'd been conducting for his chemistry culinary crossover class. The container exploded with a sound like a small cannon, coating Mrs. Higgins, the club president, in a fine mist of ginger ale. It's an interactive demonstration, Jack shouted as the bridge club beat a hasty retreat. Wait, the heart-shaped bowls are 30% off, as Larry snuck out the back door, leaving Jack with a mountain of unsold plastic. Stanley Roper walked in, looking for his missing gardening shears. What is this? Stanley asked, picking up a burpable lid. A new hat for you, Tripper. It's an organization system, Mr. Roper. Jack sighed. I'll tell you what's organized, Stanley said, handing him a bill. This building's insurance premium just went up because of explosive bowl activities. You're paying the difference. Chapter 14, The Gourmet or the Garbage. Jack's culinary school final exam was fast approaching, and the pressure was manifesting in the form of a 3-foot-tall croquembouche that he had constructed in the middle of the dining room. It's my masterpiece, Jack whispered, his eyes bloodshot. The caramel is at the perfect temperature. One wrong move and the whole thing will collapse like a house of cards. Just then, the phone rang. It was the Santa Monica Star, looking for a quote from a representative young citizen about the local park renovations. Jonna answered, but through a series of classic sitcom misunderstandings involving a bad connection and a loud blender, she convinced Jack that a famous food critic was coming to dinner tonight. A critic? Here, tonight? Jack scrambled, accidentally knocking a spun sugar bird off the croquembouche. I need truffles. I need duck confit. I need a clean apron. He spent the afternoon in a manic cooking frenzy. The kitchen looked like a war zone. When the doorbell finally rang at 7 p.m., Jack was wearing a chef's hat so tall it scraped the doorframe. He opened the door to find a man in a rumpled suit holding a notepad. Mr. Tripper, I'm here about the park, the man started. Of course, the park, or as I call it, the palette of green. Jack swept him inside. Sit, experience, devour. He began serving an 8-course meal that included sea urchin foam, lavender-infused lamb, and a dessert that required Jack to use a blowtorch at the table. The man, who had only wanted to ask about a new playground slide, was too terrified to stop eating. This is very intense, the man choked out, fanning his mouth after a particularly spicy amuse-bouche. Intensity is my middle name, Jack shouted, flaming a wheel of cheese. The next day, Jack opened the newspaper to find a front-page story. It wasn't a review. It was an article titled Santa Monica's Most Dangerous Resident, featuring a photo of Jack holding a blowtorch with a look of pure madness. Well, Jean sighed, looking at the photo. At least he said the lamb was memorable. Memorable! He called it hallucinogenic. Jack groaned, burying his head in the newspaper. Chapter 15, The Wedding Bell Blues. The misunderstanding to end all misunderstandings occurred on a Tuesday. Chrissy had found a magazine quiz called Is He the One? And had left it on the coffee table with Jack's name scrawled at the top as a joke. Stanley Roper, who was upstairs to inspect the floorboards and check for hidden roommates, found the quiz. He read the results. You are ready to commit. Buy the ring and say the words. Trippers getting married. Stanley gasped. To which one? The smart one or the blonde one? He immediately told Helen, who told the local baker, who told Jeanette's boss at the flower shop. By noon, the entire neighborhood was buzzing with news of the Tripper wedding. Jeanne arrived home to find 3 bridal magazines and a catering brochure shoved under the door. Jack, is there something you haven't told us? I'm getting a new set of knives, Jack asked, looking up from his sharpening stone. No, Jack, the rumor is you're getting married. Jack laughed until he saw Stanley Roper walking in with a gift-wrapped toaster. Congratulations, Tripper. I always knew you'd settle down once you found a girl who could handle your eccentricities. Mr. Roper, I'm not getting married. Jack shouted. Don't be shy. We've already cleared out apartment 301 for you. It's the honeymoon suite. It's got a view of the dumpster, but I'll throw in a new shower curtain for free. The situation escalated when a local priest, who was a friend of Chrissy's father, showed up to offer counseling. Jack found himself trapped in the bathroom, trying to explain to a man of the cloth that he was, in fact, still single, still broke, and still living a lie. It's a spiritual misunderstanding, Jack shouted through the door. The only thing I understand, Stanley shouted back, is that if you don't get married, I'm taking back that toaster. The day ended with the toaster being returned and the roommates hiding under the kitchen table as the wedding photographer knocked on the door. Chapter 16, The Antique Anxiety. Santa Monica was having its annual Trash to Treasure weekend, and for Larry Dallas, this was Christmas in July. He had acquired what he claimed was an authentic Ming Dynasty vase from a distinguished collector who happened to leave behind a dumpster near the pier. It's priceless, Jack, Larry insisted, setting the gaudy, cracked ceramic vessel on the dining table. The gold leafing is a bit modern, but the spirit of the Ming is definitely there. I just need you to keep it here for a few days. My place is being fumigated. Fumigated? For what? Jeanne asked, eyeing the vase with suspicion. For bad luck, Larry said with a wink. Anyway, Jack, if we sell this to that eccentric gallery owner on 4th Street, We split the commission, 50-50. Jack, whose bank account was currently balanced at $3.24, was easily swayed. Deal. But where do we hide it? If Roper sees an antique in here, he'll